Hi everybody, I'm back, for real this time. So I moved into college and that's where I am now. There are trains coming by and it will be loud, but I will do my best to talk around it. Today I'm doing my wrap up of all the books that I read since I've been gone. It's a lot, so let's get into it. The first book that I read was Furia by Shamile Yaid Mendez. This is an Own Voices contemporary about a girl living in Argentina. Her name is Camila. She wants to be a soccer player. It's very character driven. There's a lot of things going on in her life that are standing in the way of her soccer career. There's like sexism. Her brother is a soccer player, but her parents won't let her be a soccer player. There's like a lot of murders happening to girls in their town, so it's like unsafe. If you watch a lot of foreign films, it gives me the same energy of like real life, real drama, real stories, like no fluff, actual living and actual lives. And that was a YA contemporary. The second book that I read was A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen. This is a YA contemporary as well that centers around a baking competition. I really liked this book, but I think that there was some sort of miscommunication between whoever wrote the synopsis and the author, because the baking competition does not happen until like halfway through the book. And also it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but you don't get that feeling at all. If you go into this book thinking, oh, it's a cute Asian American story about baking, awesome, amazing. But if you go into it reading the synopsis, it's not the same thing. I did enjoy the book though, but it just did not follow the synopsis at all. I did like the story, how it was, the real story that it was actually about. The third book that I read is Slam by Nick Hornby. This is a young adult contemporary as well. Can you tell that I like that genre? But there's also a magical realism / science fiction-y part of it because there's like a time travel element. So Slam is about a teenager named Sam. He likes to skateboard, he's British, and he has a girlfriend named Alicia. And I don't want to spoil it, but he goes into the future and comes back to the past through this magical Tony Hawk poster. The fourth book that I read was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. And you guys probably know the plot of Radio Silence, but I did not. I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know that it was British. And it was awesome. Like, I totally understand the hype. It was a really, really good book. Just, I listened to the audio and the narrator's voice was like irritating me a little bit. I had to take breaks. But the whole story was amazing. I understand why people come back to this book and read it over and over, and it's a favorite, like why they love Alice Oseman. So Radio Silence is about a teen named Frances. She's British, and she's obsessed with a podcast called Universe City. She accidentally meets the creator of the podcast, and they come together, make the podcast better. It's character driven as well. The relationship between you and like the thing you're the biggest fan of, and what your relationship is like when other people are watching, like you have an audience. It was really awesome. I would read other books by Alice Oseman. And this is a young adult contemporary as well. The next book that I read was Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry by Yoya Goffney. This book was freaking amazing. This is like exactly my cup of tea, exactly my slice of pie. This book is for me, like I'm the target audience. I loved it. So this is a YA contemporary again about a girl named Quinn who has a notebook that has like the lists of all her darkest secrets, and then that notebook goes missing. So it's sort of a like mystery quest, you know, looking for that notebook, but also whoever found the notebook is blackmailing her. So it's also like a blackmailing story, sort of like Simon Versus or any of those blackmailing stories. This book is awesome. I would read it again and again and again. I don't know if I put it on my favorites list, but I will after I upload this. I highly recommend. There's very important talks in there. Classism, you know, like how you present yourself to other people versus how you actually are, code switching. It's so good. I highly recommend. Go check it out. The next book that I read was The Ivies by Alexa Dunn. You may have heard of Alexa Dunn. She is a YouTuber, author-tuber. That's how I've heard of her. So The Ivies is a YA contemporary and thriller, like mystery thriller. There are murders. So The Ivies is about a group of 5 girls nicknamed the Ivies. They go to private school and they're obsessed with getting into these Ivy League colleges. So obsessed that they sabotage other students that are trying to get into their school. And the sabotage goes so far as to murder. So a murder happens in their school and you just go from there. The next book that I read is What the Heck is Self-Love Anyway by Jonathan Aslay. This was a random choice. I got a job over the summer and they sold a few random books and this was one of them, so I picked it up and I was reading it during my shift and I actually really enjoyed this book. So this is a self-help about self-love and why you deserve self-love, how to be kinder to yourself, how to believe in yourself when no one else does. It was very, very well done. The author talked a lot about his personal life and how his son passed away and his son had a very strong sense of self and knew who he was, and the author really admired his son for that, wanted to take the tips that the son left for him and tell people in this book. So if you ever are looking for a self-help book, one that really speaks to you, I feel like some self-help books, the author is like on a pedestal talking down to you like, oh, you're not good enough because of this, you need to do this and you'll be better like me. This one does not feel like that. This one feels just like a normal conversation with a guy. He just tells you the tips that he learned to be happy and to be content with yourself. The next book that I read was actually a DNF, The Ghosts We Keep by Mason Deaver. This is a YA contemporary. I DNF'd around 40%, so if there is a magical realism or sci-fi element or anything towards the end, I did not see it. I picked this up because I like Mason Deaver's other book, I Wish You All the Best. That was like a huge favorite of mine. I thought that this one would be the same, but actually this one is very sad and the other book is very uplifting. So yes, this book was very sad. There's a lot of grief, loss, trauma, like sad upbringing happening, and I couldn't read it anymore. It just made me too sad, and I had to put it down. I'm sorry. If you love this book, comment, tell me what you loved about it. I might pick it up again, but it was just too sad for me. The next book that I read was Instructions for Dancing by Nicola Yoon. Guys, Nicola Yoon has done it again. Like, every single one of her books smacks, and it's so good. And I hope this one gets turned into a movie because her other two have already been movies and they were amazing. So yeah. Instructions for Dancing is about a girl who does not believe in love. A thing happened with her parents and she just like is not into love anymore. But then she gets a magical superpower where when she sees a couple kiss, she knows how they're going to break up. And so she's trying to avoid seeing people kiss all the time. She doesn't want to know how they break up. It just reinforces that all love ends for her. And then she starts these dancing classes. She meets a guy named X who's her dance partner, and they sort of hit it off, but she knows she's like, not a fan of love. So she doesn't really think anything of it. And there is a twist towards the end that is so good. I will never recover from this book. And you will not either if you read it. This is like the most amazing book, probably my favorite book of 2021. If you love Nicola Yoon, and that sounds like something that you're interested in, I highly suggest you check it out. And now for my ratings. So I gave Furia 5 stars, A Taste for Love 3 stars, Slam 4 stars, Radio Silence 4 stars, Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry 5 stars, The Ivies 4 stars, but it should have been 3.5 honestly. What the Heck is Self-Love 5 stars, The Ghosts We Keep didn't get a rating because I DNF'd, and Instructions for Dancing 5 stars. So that was my reading months. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. New videos soon. I'm not gonna say I promise because now I'm in college and we'll see, but hopefully new videos soon. Thank you for coming back and watching me. Okay, bye.